This is Kyrie Irving, the most unstoppable ball handler in the NBA. And in just 30 days, I have to play like him to take on a 6'5" state champion who used to be my teammate. Can I pull this off, or will I embarrass myself trying? That's what I'm here to find out, because not making my high school basketball team lit a fire in me. A fire to prove I belong. This challenge is the next chapter in that journey. To become like Kyrie, I had to understand Kyrie. After watching him play for years, I discovered 4 keys to his greatness, including one I'll reveal at the end that most people never talk about, which might cost me everything. But until then, the first and most obvious piece of his puzzle are handles, and that's where I started, building the basics and control to navigate the court like Kyrie. Because he's not just all about his fancy crossovers. What makes Kyrie truly special is how he can get to anywhere he wants on the court, no matter who's in front of him. But honestly, it was rough. I picked the worst time to do this. Connecticut, middle of winter, no indoor gyms nearby, and barely any daylight. My hands were numb and the ball barely stayed with me. I am freezing. So by day 5, it felt impossible. Right when I was losing hope, Jeremy, the chosen one, stepped in with an offer that changed everything.
We have another shed area back here that got refinished recently.
At last, I had the salvation of a warm, quiet place to train for the rest of this challenge. And just as I was starting to believe in myself, it happened. I slipped on the gym's unmopped, dirty, and dusty floor and landed bad on my right hand. Oh no, it's happening again. A sharp pain shot through my wrist, and my mind was racing. This is it. This is how it ends. All I could think about was the last time I did a challenge like this and twisted my ankle so badly, it ruined everything. And now, it felt like history was repeating itself. On day 10, I rushed to the nearest urgent care, heart pounding, trying to hold on to any shred of hope. But at the back of my mind, all I could think was, is this where it all falls apart? Am I failing again? The x-rays felt like forever to me, and when the results came back, I braced for the worst. Then, nothing was broken, and it turned out to be just a minor contusion. Painful, but not a deal breaker. Relief washed over me, and all I could think was, I can keep going. I'm not done yet. So I proudly took some Tylenol, wrapped my hands in some tape, and got back to work immediately. Because Kyrie doesn't quit, and neither will I. Day 11 brought the next piece of Kyrie's game, his finishing ability. The problem is Kyrie's height, wingspan, and athleticism give him an edge I'll never have when it comes to this. Regardless, I still worked on floaters, Euro steps, spin moves, and layups. I know I'll get better over time, just like I always have. Halfway through my next workout on day 12, Jeremy suggested I take a break just to warm up inside. And believe me, going back out from that break felt like living hell. But I realized something. All these hardships were making me tougher. The uneven surfaces on Jeremy's gravel driveway forced me to focus on ball control and footwork, even more than if it were just a regular court. So in a weird way, you can say it's toughening me up. But practicing dribbling and finishing is only half the battle. After 2 weeks of focusing on just these 2 things, I felt it was time to take on the third key element of Kyrie's game: tough shot making. So on day 17, I built on everything I'd been practicing thus far, and even from my older videos too, like the Steph Curry one. Since I already had solid shooting mechanics from that, it was easier to break the rules and get creative like this in the present day. For a few seconds, I felt invincible. Was I becoming Kyrie? Not yet. But I was starting to believe it. You might remember Efrat from my older videos. If Jeremy's my head coach, Efrat's the assistant.
Alright, can you actually help me because I do need help?
Today, I kindly used him as a defender to put the skills I've been working on to the test. While the weather was nicer, the court was not. There weren't even hoops attached to the backboards, like we can't catch a break. I was running late to work too, so we just dealt with it, and we kept debating if my shots would have gone in or not. I mean, I think so. But I guess we'll never know. I was excited to do the same thing on day 20, but instead was forced inside from the snow. Which is fine because I didn't mind revisiting dribble workouts. And luckily, Jeremy, the chosen one, finally mopped his floors, so I no longer had to worry about breaking any other parts of my body. You see how slippery it used to be? As a result of the nicer floors, I could confidently say I worked on advanced drills without fearing for my life. Just look at how much better I am with the behind the back now. But you might still be wondering about the 4th key skill Kyrie has up his sleeve. The one most people overlook. And at this point in the video, I would have loved to reveal it to you. Unfortunately, despite all my focus and commitment, I didn't have the time to fully develop it at all. You see, what delayed me even more was that on day 26, and it's not their fault, I got called up by 3 amazing players at the court I was practicing at for a pickup game. Tyler, Jaden,
Make sure y'all like and subscribe, K-Dots.
and Jackson. So instead of working on Kyrie's 4th pillar, I thought it was reasonable to instead put everything I've worked on so far for the first 3 pillars to the test. I did great. I pulled this crazy spin move into a contested layup through contact, but then right after, Jaden bodied me in the paint for an easy layup. And that's when I knew I wish I had more time, because I knew I wasn't as complete as I wanted to be after this game. My finishing was better, but still inconsistent. To focus more on that, I completely neglected branching out to work on Kyrie's 4th key. And looking back, I really wish I didn't do that. What I failed to work on and didn't have time for in these 30 days was defense. Kyrie plays better defense than people give him credit for. He plays up, guards tight, and challenges every shot. And sure, he's not Kawhi Leonard, but refusing to work on my defense like Kyrie Irving to instead practice his finishing ability more might have been a death trap for me at the end of this challenge. Because at my size, if LJ scores once, or especially if he gets hot, I may never get the ball back. There was no time left for excuses or training. It was day 30. All I could think of was if I could finally stop LJ. All I could think of was if I could finally prove that I belong, or if this was going to be another missed shot at redemption. I guess there was only one way to find out. The first player to score 11 points wins.
Oh!
I was missing easy shots, and in a one-on-one, close isn't good enough. Luckily, LJ missed a look-away 3, and I tried to instantly capitalize on it. And my moves definitely got better. We were all tied up. I was still in this. To him, it's like I'm not even really there. And just like that, I was getting blown out again. But I didn't let LJ's reaction get to me. Because now, we were tied again. I didn't train for defense, but I needed to play it here more than ever, or else I might lose the lead. After a huge defensive stop, I found myself up by 2 against LJ. To ice this game, I took the shot. Kyrie's signature shot. But I missed. And I quickly paid for it. But how am I supposed to contest a guy over a foot taller than me? I tried my best to stay in front of LJ. But I was no match for his beautiful offense. I never got the ball back once after I took the shot. Alright, that was a good game. And look, in the end, I lost. But I didn't feel like I failed. I held my own and I pushed myself. Kyrie's greatness isn't something you master in 30 days. It's a journey. And now, I'm on that journey too. To see where it all began, watch this video where I trained like Steph Curry for 30 days.